Jim Smalley was an engineer on the Maine Central line. Roger Pelkey was his fireman. Now they were two of a kind. Jim Smalley's time for retirement was getting mighty close. 19 years with Maine Central and just one more to go. But the thought of another engineer driving Smalley's train was causing him a lot of grief and filling his heart with pain. Why, even Jim's wife knew that he loved her with all his heart and soul. But if he had to choose her or that train, she'd be the one to go. Well, just before his retirement, old Smalley had a heart attack. It was kind of bad, and they seemed to think he might not be coming back. So Pelkey went to see old Jim once more before the end. "Is there anything I can do for you?" he asked his dying friend. "Oh, yes, there is," old Jim replied as he drew Pelkey near. And the last words Smalley ever spoke were whispered in Roger's ear. Now, Pelkey said his last request most folks would think insane. He wanted me to bury him in the switchyard so he'd be near that train. "Just bury me out by the tracks," he said, "under a railroad tie, so I can hear old 470 whenever she rolls by." But when he died, they buried Jim in the cemetery at Old Pine Grove, far away from the railroad tracks and the train that Smalley drove. Now the years rolled by and Roger Pelkey retired from the line, but he never forgot old Jim's last plea made while he lay dying. Why, he often thought of his old friend laying out there dead. 'Twas enough to drive a man to drink, Pelkey often said. Then came the diesel engines, all the steam trains had to go. They were all sold for scrap except old 470, and they hauled that train to a little park out by the Fairfield line, and they made a monument out of her to remind them of days gone by. Well, when Pelkey saw that train parked there, his eyes just filled with tears, 'cause now he could grant old Jim's last plea, been haunting him for years. So one dark night, old Roger Pelkey dug up Smalley's bones, and he hauled him out to that little park where that train stood all alone. And there by the light of the moon he dug, under that old train, a little grave for his old pal, and he buried his remains. Now Roger said by the time he was through, it was almost dawn, when that old train let out a belch. All her lights came on. Why, that old relic was all lit up, just like a Christmas tree. And I'm telling you, Roger said, it scared the hell out of me. Well, he dropped his shovel and he jumped back, 'cause Roger really was scared. And he swore he saw Jim Smalley's ghost right there in a cab. In a high-top cap and overalls, it appeared in a glowing light. And Pelkey's hair stood right on end as he stared at the eerie sight. Then the ghost reached up, pulled the rope, made the whistle blow. And by that time, old Roger Pelkey was just about halfway home. Now, I may stretch the truth a bit, I guess I'm just that kind, but I'm here to say that Roger Pelkey was never known to lie. So if you're ever up around that way in the town of Waterville, Maine, in the little park by the underpass stands old Jim Smalley's train. Take a drive by and see for yourself, 'cause it's still there, and so's Jim.